I'm Loud Esmond, just a stable of these sports prognosticators, just one in the stable of sports prognosticators here at Winners and Winers who want to make you a better. See, Christian's making fun of my finger thing. It's my thing, man. How you doing, Christian?
I'm doing good, Monday morning, NFL football just happened. It was a great week to watch football yesterday. It was a great day to watch football yesterday.
Yeah, great day to watch football. Boy, some really tough outcomes. Oh, by the way, remember, hit the bell, like us, subscribe, send us your comments so that we can keep this conversation going. Remember, keep visiting the website because that's where you're going to see the premium picks. And by the way, how can you go wrong? You buy the premium pick, and if it doesn't win, you get your money back. I mean, I don't know what more we could do except offer, hey, if you take our pick and it doesn't win, you get your money back. So, yeah, check out the website. Look for everybody's premium picks, especially mine, your very own Loud Esmond. A lot of times what happens when teams either win or lose badly, or when they're expected to lose and they win, or they're expected to win and they lose, the betting public has a tendency to sort of immediately overreact. And a lot of times you'll see teams get either overvalued or undervalued because of the recent success or failure. So I got some teams that I think might be overvalued first. Dolphins are 3-0.
Yes.
They had to come back after being down 20-something points against Baltimore. The chances that that happens on a regular basis is not good. So that was kind of a fluke. They could have very easily lost that game. Should have been 1-1 at that point. They beat the Bills yesterday. The Bills were down 6 starters on defense by the middle of that game. And they were down several offensive linemen. And, oh, by the way, their best receiver, Stephon Diggs, in the fourth quarter couldn't go more than one play at a time before having to go to the sidelines and get stretched out and get fluids. Basically, Florida weather won.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what happened. And I know Rocky and I talked about this on the show. And I said, man, they're professional athletes. They'll be prepared for it. Not so much. It was too much for the Bills.
Weather
And
conditions is a real thing, and it's a real factor to take.
yeah, it just was too much. And the Bills still had a chance to win that game. And if it wasn't for receiver failing to get out of bounds, the Bills would have kicked a field goal and won that game. So Miami 3-0, but could very easily be 1-2. Now they take on Cincinnati in Cincinnati. What do you think that line is right now?
I'm gonna say 4.5, 5.5.
In whose favor?
Miami's.
Nope. The Dolphins are +3 going in to play the Bengals in Cincinnati. I thought they'd be overvalued, and like you, that they would be the favorite going in to play the Bengals, but they're not. It's an odd line to me. The Colts won a game. Yay.
Yeah.
Who did they even beat yesterday?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right. They beat the Chiefs.
All of our picks were wrong last week from that one. We all picked the Kansas City.
We all had the Chiefs easily beating the Colts. And, that's a sign. When the line doesn't make sense, I was like, why is this line 6.5? Why isn't this 10? Why isn't this 11? And generally, when you see a line like that, an experienced bettor like me should have known well enough to go, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Somebody knows something I don't. Kansas City just didn't play well, period. It wasn't like the Colts lit up the field. Kansas City just kind of gagged. So, again, Colts could be 0-3. They had a tie first game against the Texans.
Yes.
Now they are home with the Titans coming to town. The Titans had just outlasted the Raiders and pretty much put an end to their season. Remember, we were talking about which team was going to be 0-3. We all decided it was going to be the Raiders.
Yes.
So the Titans come in.
That's 0-3.
What?
They're the only team that's 0-3 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, God. The Colts are -3 at home with the Titans coming to town. Your thoughts?
Colts are 3 at home with the Titans coming to town. I don't know how I feel about that one. Coming off a win is good, and they might get some momentum. But the Titans
division game.
Yeah, the Titans defense still good, and it's a division game, and it comes out.
And Derrick Henry looked like Derrick Henry against the Raiders.
It's gonna be Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, basically, yeah. I think 3 points is too many, not because I really favor the Titans, but because I think this game is going to be a slugfest. I've got to see what the over-under is because I think I'd be interested in the under. The Jaguars. What?
Ooh,
what the hell?
beat
man?
The heck out of the Chargers.
Wow. I kept checking that score going, that's got to be wrong. That's backwards. No. Now, and keep in mind the Jaguars won last week too. So all of a sudden the Jaguars look like a juggernaut, but so do the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Number 1 offense in the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles. The Jaguars go to Philly. I thought they'd be overvalued. What do you think this line is?
I'm gonna say 3.5.
Jaguars plus 6.5.
Philadelphia versus that's gonna be a good game though.
It's in Philly.
In Philly? Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It's in Philadelphia. So but the Jaguars just went on the road and blew out the Chargers. Now keep in mind, Justin Herbert was not Justin Herbert.
No, he was playing with 3 fractured ribs.
Although he threw an 80-yard bomb off the wrong foot towards the end of the game.
He's got that dog in him, He's going to play no matter what.
So I was like, wow, maybe they're not that bad. But no, they just didn't look – the Chargers looked deflated. They didn't play well. Speaking of deflated and didn't play well, the Raiders, 0-3. The Broncos come to Vegas. That line is currently what?
I'm going to say 4.5 to the Broncos.
Raiders -2.
Oh, my God. I'm getting all these lines wrong today.
Well, no, it's the overvalue, undervalue thing, right? We're assuming that because the Raiders are 0-3 and Denver just beat the 49ers.
I'm glad my team's a division leader now.
The 49ers looked like, wow, they looked terrible on offense. Oof.
It was a rough game.
The thing about the Raiders here is at 0-3, you're giving up for dead. Right?
Yeah.
You know how much pressure they have on them coming into this game now?
Not much.
Nothing.
Yeah, no one's expecting
nothing. No one's expecting anything from the Raiders.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they're going to win this game. I think they've been playing too tight. In the first game, Derek Carr was way too wound up. And watching the game yesterday against the Titans, that team was so tight. It was just too much. You could feel it in watching them that they were straining on every play. The Titans took advantage of the Raiders not really being able to stop Derrick Henry. The Broncos aren't going to be able to do that. I actually kind of like the Raiders -2 in this game to bounce back and win a game because, frankly, they have no pressure on them anymore. The Lions.
Ankle biters.
How about those Lions? I know they lost to the Vikings, but they were close.
Yeah, 3 points, I believe. 4 points.
4-point game in the end. They had, in typical Lions fashion, they had that game in pretty good shape. And then, they let it slip away. The Lions are one of those teams that don't win, but they cover all the time. Now, the Lions, I'm trying to see, do they have the Saints coming into town? Hang on. Just double checking. Seahawks.
Seahawks, yes.
The Seahawks are coming to play the Lions in Detroit. The Lions are -6.5.
I like that. I do like that.
The Lions have one of the top offenses in the league.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, their offensive rate is top 4 in the league, I believe.
Right, and they're the number 2 rushing team behind the Eagles.
Yes.
So, I mean, the Lions are tearing it up. That running back's doing great. I told everybody coming into the season, the Lions are going to be scary good on offense. They just can't play any defense. They just don't have the players.
Yeah, the only bright side on defense there right now is pretty much Aiden Hutchinson.
And that linebacker kid. Anyway, I can't remember his name, but they have a good linebacker too. The Buccaneers lost a tough one. God bless it. I had the Buccaneers on the money line, and I thought Brady was going to pull it off. But a false start when they were going for the 2-point conversion.
I know.
Oh, man.
And center wouldn't snap the ball.
Fournette was going to walk in.
You want to face. Hey, fun fact, though. Every time Tom Brady has faced Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in his career, he has held the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season.
We'll see what happens. The defense looks pretty good. The offense looks a little shaky.
So
it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how much Beasley does week after week after week as he gets used to Brady.
It's very, very tough to come into a new rotation and a new organization in a week and be effective.
The Chiefs, coming off a loss on the road to Indianapolis, now have to come to Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers.
Super Bowl rematch.
The Buccaneers are +3 in that game.
+3 at home?
Mm-hmm. You get Mike Evans back. It's in Florida. We saw what happened to Buffalo in Florida last week, right? Tom Brady's going to be pissed. It's going to be a really, really strong week of practice for the Buccaneers. I like them not necessarily to win this game, but if you're going to give me 3 points at home, I'm going to buy a half point, make it 3.5, and take the Buccaneers in the hook.
Yeah.
So a couple of other early lines of note. Packers were -7.5 last night against the Patriots at home. That line is now 11. So many people bought that line at 7.5 that it's moved all the way to Packers -11. Of course, Mac Jones is probably out. He has at least a high ankle sprain, maybe worse. And then that other line that's interesting to me, why are the Rams +3 against the 49ers?
I don't know. Well, the 49ers have owned the Rams for the past 6 years. I think the record against them is 10-2.
Well, they looked god awful last night. The Broncos. Against the Broncos. So anyway, all right. Well, there's some early lines, some overvalued, undervalued stuff to take a look at. Christian, thanks for joining me. I am Loud Esmond, coming to you from Winners and Winers. Hit the bell, like us, subscribe, give me your comments so I can comment back. All that good stuff, and you can catch the Steer the Line show on Friday nights, if you'd like, on YouTube with Steer the Line here. Christian, me, Rocky, also Jeremy, fantasy football, and all of that on Friday nights. I'm Loud Esmond for Winners and Winers, trying to make you a fingers better.